I mean, it's better than it has ever been.
Mm.
There's a few weird things on there, perhaps. A lot of people touched on that as well, and I noticed that is the saturated fat cap. On one hand, RFK says like we're ending the war on saturated fat, and on the other hand, it's a maximum of 10%, which it was already before. And if you put the majority of the food that should be eaten in the category of animal-based foods, how are you going to stick to 10% saturated fat?
Yeah.
And we are live. Patrick, how are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you very much for having me on again.
It's always a pleasure having you on, Patrick. So I've been watching you in the last couple of days. You've been having a lot to say on the new food pyramid. We're gonna dig into that as well. I know Victoria has an awful lot to say on it. We did a podcast on it last night. So yeah, let's jump straight into it, Patrick. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Well, yes, I have a lot to say about it, but it's not like negative. And I think this is overall what I see a lot of people saying. And I think we a lot of us, unless we're like, I saw Joe, for example, being like, it needs to be a full-on carnivore pyramid. I understand when you're carnivore, but we need to have a look at like, it's an American-wide, almost worldwide thing, right? I mean, it's better than it has ever been. There's a few weird things on there, perhaps. A lot of people touched on that as well, and I noticed that is the saturated fat cap. On one hand, RFK says like we're ending the war on saturated fat, and on the other hand, it's a maximum of 10%, which it was already before. And if you put the majority of the food that should be eaten in the category of animal-based foods, how are you going to stick to 10% saturated fat?
Yeah.
So that there's a discrepancy there, and I wonder if they're still going to come out with some kind of adjustment or something. Another thing that I noticed was that there's no recommendation when it comes to alcohol, which is kind of weird. They just say you should drink less. Yeah, well, that's what I tell my dad as well. You should drink less, and I don't know what it means. I really enjoy that the grains, and especially that the emphasis is only on whole grains, and it's only such a small part where it used to be basically the staple of the energy. Talking about energy, this is what I also then wonder, if you can only have 10% of your caloric intake coming from saturated fat, and they want you to minimize carbohydrates in a way that, grains are at the bottom of the food chain now, or the food pyramid. Where are you getting your energy from?
Exactly.
So that's the thing that I don't really get either. There's a few other things, but I think I've given you guys a few ideas. I would love to hear how you feel about it.
What do you think, Victoria?
Well, I agree with all of his points, especially the alcohol ones. But yeah, they don't explain where the energy is coming from. But my issue is that they included an oil that appears to be olive oil, and not many people are aware of this. But I'm against even any plant oil except maybe coconut oil, because the fruit oils, avocado and olive, have phytosterols, which are plant cholesterol, and they block, because they mimic what cholesterol looks like to the body. They block cholesterol's uptake into the cells, even at the intestinal level, and this prevents cholesterol from doing its job, because cholesterol just gets excreted, and it kind of makes cholesterol redundant, and cholesterol just goes away. It prevents cell rebuilding, cell repair, and the steroid hormones, which are very crucial to our being alive, from being processed. So I think that there's a misunderstanding, and the very reason why mainstream science likes phytosterols is their cholesterol lowering. They apparently block LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol. So we're still stuck in that little myth about lowering cholesterol with olive oil, and because that's part of that Mediterranean diet and all those blue areas, that it's not true that it's healthful So that's my big point with that.
Okay, so for me,
Hmm.
like you guys have said, it's a step in the right direction. But as you guys correctly pointed out, it's the saturated fats. Everybody on social media is still talking about saturated fat and how dangerous saturated fat is. That's the problem I have. And it's getting really, really frustrating at this point, because this is where people are struggling. People don't understand that there's only one cholesterol. There is no bad cholesterol. Like, we need to point that out pretty much from the get-go. There is no bad cholesterol. There's only one cholesterol, and it's called cholesterol. Cholesterol is vital for your body. Every single cell in your body is made of cholesterol. Without testosterone, you cannot make cholesterol. Simple as that. It really is that simple. So we need to factor in, okay, how do we improve testosterone? Obviously, key lifestyle, introducing a healthy lifestyle. But people need to understand that in order to improve your testosterone, you need to eat fat in the diet. And like Patrick said, where's the energy coming from? Because this is what really frustrated me about the pyramid as well. Most of it is still, you'll see, even though the grains are at the bottom, you have your vegetables there, you have your fruits there, so they're still heavily relying on carbohydrates
Carbohydrates,
as
exactly.
an energy source. And that's the problem I have. I'm like, okay, well, why aren't you not telling people that we can rely on fats as energy? We can have better energy if we're eating fats. Why is it always based on, no, you guys are trying to convince us that our main source of energy is glucose? You're telling us that, okay, we need to be eating carbohydrates, because this is where I see it at the moment. So the way I see it is, it's a step in the right direction. We've been saying this for a very, very long time, that the foods at the bottom of the pyramid should be on top of the pyramid, which they are at the moment right now. And what I'm really enjoying is I'm seeing so many people on social media, all the experts, they're panicking now. They're worried. Have you noticed that now? Ever since the new food pyramid has come out, they're all jumping on the bandwagon and saying, okay, well, this food pyramid is coming out, but it's still wrong. Everybody's still convincing people that it's still wrong. You still need to be worried about saturated fats. When do we get to the stage when you guys just need to realize that what you've been giving us, the information that you've been giving us for such a long time, is not working? And now that the pyramid is the way it should be, you just can't admit it.
Well,
You just can't admit that you're wrong.
it's a game of telephone where you start with one message and you end up with a different one. I think RFK wanted it to be more fat oriented. He's a carnivore. He understands that. He gets it. But it had to be translated through many people, layers of people who eventually produced the food pyramid, and they are not cognizant of fat as the basic strata for energy. They don't get that. So they're still throwing the carbs at us through vegetables. That's why the vegetables and fruit have equal billing with the meat at the top. It's a misinterpreted message. It's misunderstood. They don't get it.
Absolutely. And what Patrick was saying earlier about that people are saying that it should be fully carnivore, the pyramid should be fully. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm a carnivore myself. But we need to understand that the average person watching this food pyramid, they don't know any better.
Yes.
And this is why I will never be one of those people to say that you need to do carnivore. I've always advocated if you can do carnivore, if you can do keto, or even better, just go on a low carbohydrate lifestyle. I think that's the important message. We need to start somewhere, and we need to start from, in my opinion, and I think we can all agree that we all need to be on a low carbohydrate lifestyle.
Yes, but
I think what you're just saying,
Mark,
Mark, I think that exactly explains why not exactly, but it probably explains why we're still with this 10% saturated fat cap, because for 40, 50 years, we've been told that saturated fat is the devil. And to already turn the food pyramid, South Park wise, upside down, and to also say, listen, saturated fat is not a problem anymore. Go for it. I think that was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
That this is already such a shocker. I mean, everybody on social media is talking about it. Everybody has an opinion, but it's good. But because something has really happened, so everybody's talking about it. To also say like we stop with the cap on saturated fat, I think that would have been too much. I can see from a political point of view, they might have said like, whoa,
It's too soon. It's too soon.
yeah.
And the thing about, and the thing is, sorry, Patrick, and the thing is, it's going to get people now thinking. That's the most important thing.
Exactly.
That's the most important thing is people are going to look at this and say, well, hang on a second. Maybe Patrick and Mark and Victoria, what they've been saying for a long, long time, maybe there's something in this. So it's gonna send that message out there, because that's what I've been getting this week. I've been getting random messages of people saying that I've been watching you for a while now. I've been kind of 50-50 who to believe, but now that we've seen what happened in the last week, they're going more towards my side. And I need to point this out as well. This was never about us against them. Okay, I spoke about this on the podcast last night. The most important thing is we just want people to be healthy. I think we can all agree on that. And that's why I don't like this massive divide. It's us against them. We just want to help people. But if you're going to come at me and tell me that eating shit in moderation is okay, you're telling me that carbohydrates are the main source of energy, I'm not going to sit back and say, okay, you're right. I'm going to challenge your argument and then let people make up their own minds. And I think that's the most important thing. It's up to the people to make up their own minds what they want to do with their life. And that's what it comes down to. Because at the end of the day, it's not about people going on the carnivore diet. We know how, I'm not going to say extreme, but I'm just saying that it's just basically you're just eating meat pretty much. And if you're talking to the average person, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It really is. Because I know when I did it 6 years ago, I couldn't get my head around, okay, you're telling me not to eat the rainbow anymore. I can't eat carbohydrates anymore. I can't eat the food that I used to enjoy in moderation anymore. So it took me a long, long time to get over that. So we need to put our minds into the people that are actually listening to this.
Well,
you know what I mean? We really do.
I totally agree.
Could I say that my big rant about phytosterols in the olive oil is extended into the vegetable and fruit kingdom, because anything and nuts, anything that has a plant oil within it will bring the phytosterols. And it was actually recommended to consume 2 to 3 grams of phytosterols a day to defeat cholesterol, to lower your cholesterol. And you can't get that from oil alone. You'd have to have 100 tablespoons of olive oil a day to get enough phytosterol to lower cholesterol. But where do you get it? From vegetables. You can get it from plants like avocados. People are eating avocados thinking, oh, I'm doing my body a great service. But they're not, because the avocados are loaded with phytosterols, and because they're loaded with oil, and they're bringing the same situation into their bodies by consuming the vegetables. So this is another reason to avoid vegetables.
And the question needs to be asked, because I say this all the time on my social media. You only need to look in the shops. Every time you go into a shop, what do you see? You see low fat. It's on everything. It's on absolutely everything. Now, what did they replace that low fat with? What did they replace the fats that we were meant to eat? What did they replace it with? Seed oil, sugar, all this crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's cholesterol is very, very low at the moment. Okay, you talk to the average person on the street, they're terrified of cholesterol. Terrified. They'll hear the word and be like, oh my God, I'm on a statin, and this is what I have to do. But you can clearly see they're in a bad way. They're in a really, really bad. You can see it in their face. There's a lot of stress there. There's a lot of metabolic damage there. And it's like, well, you're trying to reason with these people and say, well, this is the reason. This could be the reason why you're like this, but you're never going to know once you actually try it. I'm never going to be, as I said, I'm never going to be one of these people that say you have to do it. But I can only give people the evidence with me. This has changed my life. It has
Mark,
literally.
can we just get back to the food pyramid, because I still have a few things I wanted to.
Go ahead, man. Yeah.
So, I was wondering how many people actually use the food pyramid to create their meals at home.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Really?
it's a suggestion, like a traffic light.
Yeah, but we listen to traffic lights better than we listen to a food pyramid. At least I
This
hope
is
you
true,
guys
that's
do it as
true,
well in
but
Ireland and the States.
People know what they should do, yet they do what they please.
Yeah.
I just wonder if because the food pyramid has changed now, people are going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to have like my whatever crap you eat for breakfast, my cereals anymore, because the food pyramid has changed. I don't know. I know that the food pyramid is going to be used for kind of the official government kind of organizations and schools and the army and stuff. That could already be an improvement. I mean, feeding an army crap and you want to defend your country, that's an interesting thought. So we're moving into the right direction with that. But the average American or even the average Western person, are they looking at the food pyramid and go like, okay, well, I won't eat my crisps anymore now because it's not on the food pyramid, and I'll eat less bread and I'll start eating more meat? I doubt it. I really doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
No. And see that's the problem right there, because the problem is it's not just the food pyramid, it's what we've been taught about our food, because it's
For
not
so
about
long.
it's not about
It's
nutrition.
ingrained. Yeah, it's ingrained in our cells.
It's not about nutrition, it's about calories. That's what's taken all over the world. When you're struggling with your health, you need to go on a low calorie diet. And that's where the problem is. It's like you see something with low calorie, I'm not going to go towards red meat that has fat on it, because people have been ingrained for such a long time that when you look at the fat model, for every gram, it contains 9 calories. But people don't understand the impact these foods are going to have on your body hormonally. You know what I mean?
And satiety-wise as well.
Exactly. Because when you go on a diet, I'm pretty sure you've done this in the past, Patrick. When you go on a diet, why couldn't you not stick to it?
Yeah, because you're hungry.
Hungry all the time.
Yeah, you're
all
hungry.
the time. This is what happens. Every single person that comes to me says the exact same thing. I could never stick to a diet because I was miserable and I was always hungry.
Yeah. And it's the first thing when you tell people, or when you help people transition to a carnivore diet, it's to tell them, like, you don't have to calorie count. You can eat as much as you want. And people just look at you and go like, you're off the planet, mate. How is that possible? We're so used to not being allowed to eat as much as we want, which makes sense when you eat crap food. You shouldn't be eating as much as you want because you can just keep on eating. But when you eat real food, now you can eat as much as you want.
Absolutely. And then if people are following the food pyramid, which is people say, all the experts on social media are saying that they're not following the food pyramid, then why is it then when people are following it, the random questions you get are, I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. I'm miserable. I'm sick. I'm tired of tracking my calories. I'm sick and tired of eating vegetables. Pete, you've been told to suck it up. That's what you've been told. You're told to suck it up and get on with it. If you want to look a certain way, stop going on like a baby and do what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's the information. Because so what I'm saying is they're putting the emphasis on you. They're blaming you. If you're not successful in what you want to achieve, you're the problem. It has nothing to do with the information that I'm giving you. That's not the problem. You're the problem.
But that's a typical human problem in general. It's always there. The problem is always out there. You are the problem. I'm not the problem. You are the problem.
And it's honestly, it's very, very worrying. It really is extremely worrying, because like we really need to get back to basics here, and we need to get back to nature as quick as possible. We really, really do. And you just need to give your body the nutrition it needs. And once you give your body the nutrition it needs, those hunger signals will switch off. You'll know what true satiety feels like, and it's gonna make your health journey, your weight loss journey, just so much easier.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say about the food pyramid as well, which I'm really happy about, is that also schools in the States, the school lunch programs follow the food pyramid, which I don't know if it's gonna happen, but in theory means that all the junk and all the processed food
let's
should
hope
be
so.
out now. And you know what? If we get children to eat meat, fruit, vegetables, and
Absolutely.
okay, chuck in a slice of bread, okay, we're already so much better off than we've been for
Absolutely.
decades.
Yeah.
For
And you
decades,
and
I'll
you
be
made it
happy.
and you made a good point, Patrick, because this is going to be on the curriculum now. Going
Exactly.
forward, this is going to be taught in nutrition schools. It's going to be in schools. It's going to be like doctors will have to learn about this now.
That's another nice point,
That-
by the way. Did you hear that RFK has proposed, and I saw it was already months ago, that doctors now have to start studying nutrition
Yeah.
as part of their medical
So
studies as
important.
well.
So important.
And then, and then people were saying there's like opponents of that, saying like, yeah, but they already have to study so much. If we're gonna extend the curriculum and add nutrition to it, people might not want to study medicine anymore, and we get a shortage of doctors.
Doesn't make
I
sense.
don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I don't know
doesn't
what
make
to
any
say.
sense.
Yeah.
It
Why
really
would
doesn't.
you not want doctors to know about nutrition so that it can prevent disease more than treat disease? So it's actually healthcare rather than disease care. I don't understand.
Well,
That's
their
what it
other
comes down to.
training is against it. Their other training about cholesterol is just going to fly in the face of the truth of nutrition. So they're going to be at odds internally with their principles. It's going to be tough for them to accept.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in life that are tough to accept.
And see, I think that's what we've always wanted, because it's very, very frustrating when you reach out to these people and all you're trying to do is have a civilized debate with these people. But when you're getting shut down and saying that, okay, well, I have a PhD, I've studied this for 7 years. What do you know? Like, who are you? You're just an influencer. You're just a social media influencer. And I'm
I
like,
saw the
well,
discussion you had
yeah.
with this
And
nutrition
see,
coach. Yeah.
and that's what really drives that's what really, really annoys me. Really, really
Yeah.
annoys me, because it's like, so you're telling me that the experiences that I've had with people over the years that have reversed many of their symptoms, we just forget about this. Like, this never happens.
Yeah.
And
It's
all
all
I ask,
anecdotal. It's all anecdotal, mate. It means nothing.
no,
Yeah.
and then I just asked a simple question, and I asked it in because I went on a bit of a rant on my video this morning, but all I asked was simply this at the start was, name one carnivore in the space at the moment that's extremely unhealthy. Just give me one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me one person. They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at your man Robert. The guy is in his 70s. He looks insane. He looks insane. Take his top off. Look at him. He looks incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Victoria. Victoria won't mind me saying this as well. She's in her 70s. She looks amazing. She looks insane. Like,
Thank you.
it's just like, I'm really looking forward now to getting older. I really am, because I want
Yeah.
to see what I can actually do now in my 60s, my 70s, and 80s. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about ending up in a care home or having dementia,
Exactly.
because I think I can actually control that situation now.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as I'm able to feed myself. If I ever lose control over that, then all hell will break loose. But that's my goal, is to be able to continue to afford to feed myself and be capable of doing that. Because
Absolutely.
that's crucial.
And if I've ticked all those boxes and I'm still unwell, then maybe I'll go and see the doctor. But I'll make sure that I'm taking full control of my own health. Full control.
There are doctors who think they know about nutrition. I have a relative through marriage who is not able to eat beef. She's been told by her physician to not eat beef or pork. She can only have poultry and fish. and that's because of the saturated fat content. So here's her doctor thinking he knows about nutrition and telling her really the wrong information.
Yeah.
And
So
isn't it
It's amazing.
very, very worrying that we have all these amazing experts, these doctors, and still people are really, really struggling. Like Patrick said earlier on, we're only managing symptoms here. We're not getting to the root cause. You're only putting a band-aid on the problem. So it's like, okay, you have to be on medication for the rest of your life. You have to be. Nobody's questioning, okay, well, why do I need to be on medication for the rest of my life? Why aren't you not telling me about health? Why are you not telling me about nutrition? Why are you not telling? Are you telling me that? Why can't you not just tell me to move more? It's like, okay, well, no, you have to follow the old food pyramid. That was all the information, but now they can't do that anymore. Now
Yeah.
they can't talk about the Mediterranean diet or talk about the old food pyramid. Now they're saying that, okay, no, you have to go by the new food pyramid. But like we said at the very, very beginning, it's still not 100% perfect because you're not getting enough saturated fat in the diet. And I think that's
Absolutely.
also important because we need to understand the food pyramid is not a high protein diet or a high protein diet, because we've done this in the past. This is why Atkins failed miserably, because a lot of people were eating high protein, but they were running out of energy. And we know that if you're relying on protein alone, it's not a good substrate for energy. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, where does that energy come from? And that's why people went back to the carbohydrates. They're panicking. It's like, I don't feel good here. I have low energy, so I need to go back to the carbohydrates. But nobody said that, hang on a second, what about eating fats? What about if we just park the carbohydrates for a second? Let's add in some more healthy fats, saturated fats, and let's see what happens. We never went down that route ever.
Do you think that maybe now with the change, but there seems to be a change in tide, that we might actually be starting to see this in the coming years, more actual research into the healthy part of saturated fat, so that maybe in 5 years' time, of course, depending who's in the government in the States, because that, of course, can change, we might see an evolved version of this food pyramid with maybe that saturated fat cap of 10% just gone.
I think so, because the way I see it is the plant has been seeded. We're going the right direction. I can only see us now going in this direction. I think after this, we're only going in one direction, and that's up. I think in the next 5 years, this is gonna take over the world. That's just my personal. In the next 5-10 years, this is gonna take all over the world. People are gonna be asking questions. We're not gonna be listening to the billionaires anymore, the Bill Gates and all these people out there anymore. People are gonna be like, you know what? You can stick your vegan food up your hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's going to make it easier to get saturated fat acceptance.
Yeah, it really is. Because at the end of the day, people are not dumb. People are not stupid. People are going to look at this now, and I can guarantee it, there's a lot of people now this week that are questioning things. They really are. They're like, well, I've been listening to this information for far too long now. You've been giving me this advice. I've been doing what you've been telling me to do for a very, very long time, but my health is struggling. I'm actually going to start listening to Patrick now. His videos now, I've been questioning what he's been saying for a very, very long time. Maybe he's been right. Maybe he's been right all this time.
Yeah.
So
And
that's the most important thing.
at the same time, these people should also just really stand up against 30, 40 years of bad dietary advice and ask themselves, like, how can all of a sudden everything get pretty much flipped upside down? How is it even possible? That I understand that marginal changes can be made, but it's flipped upside down. What was happening for decades for us to receive the wrong information?
Absolutely.
That should be like a riot, man.
Absolutely. And then we need to go back to basics here. What's essential and what's not? What's optimal and what's not? So you name one essential carbohydrate for me. Just give me one. Vegetables, again, name one essential vegetable. Okay, just name one. And nobody can say this. But when you look at social media, I'm hearing and I'm seeing a lot now at the moment that we should move away from protein. Protein is the problem. Fiber. We're all fiber deficient. That's
Well,
what I'm seeing at the moment.
that's the
Yeah.
problem with vegetables being on the top of the pyramid, new pyramid with meat, because those represent fiber. So
Yep.
there's that ghost of fiber behind
Yep.
this pyramid.
And see, the thing is, if your diet is poor, like really, really poor, then yes, there's a case for fiber. But we all know, all three of us know, you do not need any kind of or any fiber whatsoever when you give your body the right nutrition. You're able to go to the toilet very, very easily. And I say this to people all the time. If you're on a meat-based diet, you're not meant to go to the toilet every day, like a number two, because your body's absorbing all the food. So if you don't go, say, like every day, it's normal. It's absolutely normal. Every 2 or 3 days is completely fine. And you're not getting any bloated feelings. You're not getting any heavy feelings. None of that whatsoever. But you will know the difference between constipation when you're eating a lot of fiber. You will know because we've all been there.
Yep.
It's not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling.
I still remember.
Yeah, it's not a nice feeling when you're on the toilet for about half an hour and still nothing is coming out. It's not nice. It's not good. And then you look at what's going on in the world at the moment with IBS. A lot of people are struggling with digestive issues, and they've been told to eat more fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
I'm so surprised how, as an intelligent species, we are the most intelligent species. Although one of my favorite gurus says we're not the intelligent species, we're the most intellectual. We're definitely not intelligent, but that's a different discussion.
Yes.
We are, let's say, intellectual. We know so much. How come we truly have started to believe that we are broken? Everything in nature works like clockwork, pretty much literally. It's amazing. It's every year through the seasons, I'm surprised here how everything almost down to the exact day, the same flowers come up. Everything works. Animals, the animal kingdom, it all works. And humans, they're all broken. And we accept it. It's normal. It's normal that we're broken. Like God made a mistake just with us, made a perfect world and just completely screwed up human beings. How come there's nobody says like, there's something wrong with that?
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah. And you shouldn't accept that, Patrick. You shouldn't accept that you're broken. You should question why you're broken in the first place. That's the most important. Like, why am I broken? Why do I need to be on your system? Why do I need to be on medication? Why is it that everybody at the moment is struggling with some sort of problem, but we have the solution for it? Whether it's mental health, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol. Look at our obesity crisis. Nobody has a clue how to handle this situation, because I'm pretty sure if you asked a handful of these people who are struggling with their weight at the moment, I can tell you right now, every single one of them would have done the low calorie diets.
Sure.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% sure. So, like we said earlier on, the question is simply this: is it you that's the problem, or is it the information that you're getting that problem? That's what it comes down to. It really is. That's what it comes down to. Who's right here and who's wrong?
Patrick made the point. It's too much intellectual and not enough intelligence.
And then when you look at the vegan parades, and they're going on about, well, you're talking about killing animals, and I get it, because I have a dog myself. I get it. I get what the vegans are saying, but you need to understand this: everything must die for you to eat, including plants. Yeah, that's a fact. Tell me I'm wrong.
I was having Christmas dinner with a few friends here at home. We were just only 6. It was me, my girlfriend, and 4 other people. And 3 out of those 4 were all ex-vegans. Well, me included, but for me, they were recently, didn't turn carnivore, but started eating meat. And one of my best mates, who was a 15-year-long militant vegan, he said, like, yeah, I've recently come to realize that even as I've always been touting myself as a vegan, I'm like so compassionate to animals. But he said, I recently actually found out how detrimental and devastating the monocropping and everything is. And I was eating these vegetables thinking I was doing a good thing from my heart, compassionate. And in the process, all these animals got killed. So he was a militant vegan as well.
Wow.
So even vegans are starting to see that as well. Sure, there's a lot left to be desired how we treat animals, but there's
Absolutely, yeah.
also a lot left to be desired how we treat each other.
Absolutely.
If we cannot treat humans properly, if we can't treat our neighbors like our friends, how can we even expect people to treat a cow like a friend?
And see, that's where we're going at the moment, because we're only thinking about the animal. We're thinking about all the poor animals. What about the humans? There's people out there that are suffering, like really suffering, and they're getting pushed to the side. They're getting literally pushed to the side. So it's okay for these people to suffer, but we look after the animal. Like,
Yeah.
you see where I'm going here?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, guys. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense. So, and now you look at, like I said, about the rich people in the world, they're trying to move us away from this. Like, you live in Europe at the moment, Patrick. You probably heard about this, the Mercosur deal. Have you heard about this?
No, tell me.
Okay, so what they're doing is they're trying to eliminate Irish produce, get rid of all this, and implant meat from different countries. And they did it. If they did it a few weeks ago, they brought in meats from Brazil, and they found all hormones in it, all this crap that was in it, and this was on our shelves. This was literally on our shelves.
Oh my gosh.
And this is where we're going at the moment. And if this deal goes through, we're in deep shit.
Oh
Simple
yeah.
as that. We really are, because we're in their hands. We are literally in their hands, and that terrifies me. Because if it gets to that stage, I don't give a shit. I'm going into the mountains and I'm going to hunt my own food.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And you can come at me and tell me, oh, but you're harming the animals, you can't be killing. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, if it's about survival, I'm all over it. I am all over it. I am not going to be one of those people that are going to be told what to do and what to eat. I know what I need to eat. I know what my body needs to thrive on. I am not falling for this agenda anymore. I've done it for years. I'm at a very, very good stage in my life now. You can be damn sure I'm never going back. Never.
So do you reckon that agenda is still on now? This food pyramid has kind of flipped the whole protein, meat, dairy, and everything upside down, or right side up? Do you think that has an effect on this agenda?
I think it has to, because it's in front of you now. There's nothing about lab meat. There's nothing about processed meat. It's in front of you now. You look at the food pyramid. What's the first thing you see? Red meat. So there you go. There's the answer right there. So you can't convince me anymore that we need this lab meat in our life, because it's there in front of you. How can you argue this?
I mean, almost more on a governmental level. There is all these parties that are well beyond our reach, that are having their agenda of reducing our meat intake.
Oh yeah.
Yet the American government comes with a food pyramid where meat is at the top of the pyramid, or at the base, depending on how you tilt it, but you know what I mean. Do you think that will have an effect on this actual agenda of trying to get us off meat? Because you cannot have a food pyramid that advertises a lot of animal protein and then say, shouldn't be eating animal protein.
Yeah, it's kind of contradicting the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Victoria?
Well, I don't know. I see the contradiction there, but I don't know if that's the direction that the government is taking. I know in the United States, the current administration wants to increase imports because American produced beef is very expensive. And that's because little by little they've been selling off the farmland and the ranch land, that they can't get enough space to raise cattle. So the number of ranchers is shrinking slowly, and this is what Christopher Brandlin was after. He's basically in favor of whatever the current administration does federally, except for that one issue, which is to not bring imported meat into the country, because we don't know the origin, we don't know what procedures are used to raise those cattle, and we don't know what contents are in there, if there are the hormones in there. So that situation has been going on now for a while now, and Christopher has become the legal advisor to the American Ranchers Association, so to help them promote the concept of buying local and not importing. But I don't know about the contradiction that would ultimately turn people off from consuming meat, if I understand your question, Patrick.
Well, I mean, there's the agenda that we should be eating less meat because there's the whole problem with cow farts and whatever. You know, we should all be heading towards vegetables. And then there's a food pyramid that says should be eating meat. And I'm very curious to see how that is going to play out now.
Well, you can clearly see that the vegans are pissed off.
Of course they are.
Massively pissed off, because
Of
I've had a few people this week reaching out to me and saying that it doesn't matter what the food pyramid is telling you, you still should prioritize plants. And I'm like, how do you get through to these people? Like, literally, how do you get through to these?
You don't. No, you don't. It's a discovery they have to make from within. You cannot push it onto them from the outside. No, like any discovery in life, it has to come from the inside out. And all of a sudden you're like, hold on a minute. That's where the discovery is, but not. That's why I don't really do those discussions anymore with people, because what am I expecting? That they're going to be saying, oh my God, Patrick, thank you for opening my eyes. I can only, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. If they're not ready, it doesn't matter what you throw at them. They are not ready.
But see, Patrick, the thing is, you're a role model now. You're an ambassador for this community. If you don't spread this message on a regular basis, then people are listening to the wrong message. That's the only reason why I continue to do it.
I spread it, but going into discussions, especially on other people's pages and stuff.
Oh yeah,
trying to convince them to see things. If I get somebody coming at me, like I've got them plenty on my YouTube, people challenging me, I'm happy also because it's engagement. So keep on going. But I'm not like with other people. If I feel like there is no opening, if they're not asking me the question because there's a genuine interest, but it's just because they're trying to create a fight or a debate, I'm not even biting because it's a waste of my energy. They're not going to walk away and have their mind changed.
Exactly. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, 100%. I get what you're saying.
And I must say it makes my life much easier.
Yeah, no, I 100% get it, because I'm the same as you. Like, once you have that conversation and then you say what you have to say, and then they just don't get it. Like, you do a paragraph and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to write this out as much as I possibly can so you can understand it. But then they come back with a different argument. It's like, well, I can't have this argument with you. I really can't. And it's like you say, you want to save your own energy. And if you if people want to debate me on this, then say it to my face. Like, come on and say it to my face and have a civilized debate so we can work out a solution. But I'm not one of those people that likes to message people. I have no time for it. I honestly have no time for it at all. And it's just that so many people are brainwashed at the moment. And these are the top experts in the world that are giving out this information. And they're just like what we said at the very, very beginning, they just cannot admit that all this information that they've been giving out, they were wrong. They were always wrong, because this week proved it. It's in front of you now. Yeah. It's in front of you. You cannot argue now, because if you're going to come back with me with an argument, all I'm going to do is just send you the new food pyramids. How can you argue against this anymore? You can't.
Well, yeah, but watch out there, Mark, because if that's the tool you use to come at them, they can use that same tool against you because they can say, you see, 10% saturated fat,
I
so
know,
you're
I know,
wrong.
I know, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
And
But
lots of
as I,
vegetables.
but as I said, Pete, as I said, Patrick, we're going the right direction. It's a step in the
Yeah.
right. The most important thing is that pyramid is upside down. This is what we've been shouting from the rooftops since day one. So it's been done now. So I can only see us going in one direction.
Yeah. What do you think of this? There's quite a bit of attention or in the food pyramid on dairy. What's your opinion on dairy? Because
See,
in my opinion, we can easily live without dairy. I don't
Yeah, I
think we
agree.
need milk. I don't think we need dairy. Yes, I like it. I love yogurt
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, but I like heavy cream. I put it in my coffee, but I don't eat dairy because I believe that it's an addition to my health.
100%. You go
Yeah.
back to you go back to our ancestors when they hunted that animal. Do you think they were going out and hunt and looking for butter to have with that meal? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were eating the animal, every bit of it, the fat included. That's how these people lived. That's how these people, you know what I mean, survived. So, like, I'm not saying there's anything against butter. I'm not saying there's anything against dairy. There's a lot of people in the carnivore space that have a lot of butter. But for me personally, when I've taken on a lot of clients, the one thing that I noticed that we had to remove if you weren't getting the results that you were looking for was the dairy. The dairy had to go. And we didn't add any more extra fat to the diet. We just stuck to ribeyes, ground beef. We just made sure that okay, if it's 18% fats, make sure it's just grab that. Make sure it's not low. Just basically what we did was a 1-to-1 ratio.
Do you
Just
have them
stick
using
animal
beef
sources.
strippings though? Because I stopped butter recently. Absolutely stopped it.
Yeah.
And my skin condition has improved. I found that I got sensitive to butter over time, especially with large amounts, like several tablespoons a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But
And
beef stripping is what I do
see
now.
that another good point as well. Everybody convince us about eggs. Now, I love eggs, but see, eggs work until they don't work anymore for some people, and they don't work for me anymore. I used to eat eggs, and I used to get like these digestive issues, and I was getting bloated, and then I took away the egg white, and I was just focusing on the egg yellows, and I got a slight improvement. But it still didn't agree with me. Now again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with eggs. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying for me, it just doesn't work. So for me, I'm strict lion based. All I do is eat meat because that's what suits my body. You need what we said at the very, very beginning about it's not about the carnivore lifestyle. What we need to find out is what works for you. If that's keto and you're happy and it changes your life, and as I said, you're healthy, I'm not going to question that. If you're on a low carbohydrate lifestyle and it suits you and you're healthy and you feel good about yourself, nobody can question that. Nobody. How can you question that? But for me, I'm on the carnivore diet. I have friends of mine that are eating carbohydrates. They're eating under 50 grams of carbohydrates a day, and it suits them. I am never going to be one of those people to say, hang on a second, that's not right. You can't be doing that. Like, why would I say that to somebody? Why? It's working for you. Surely that's what it comes down to. Surely we're looking for that fountain of youth, for that solution, for that way of eating that's going to keep us going for a long period of time. Because that's what it comes down to. You want to be eating this way that suits your life for a long period of time. You don't want to be forced into something that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? So some people can eat the dairy, but there's going to be people out there that can't eat the dairy. And like Patrick said, I think we need to understand that, yes, dairy is getting a good name at the moment, but if it doesn't work for you, then you might need to replace it. You might need to take it out. You might need to add in some beef tallow. You know what I mean? And let's see what happens.
Yeah. I feel like it's a little prominent in the food pyramid now, full fat dairy. It gives me the feeling that dairy is a necessity.
Yeah.
And I think out of all the animal foods, dairy is the least necessary.
I
And
agree.
you can overeat on dairy. There's
And
no
you can
doubt about
overeat,
it.
yeah.
Easy.
100%. You can definitely overeat on dairy.
Yeah,
No
because
doubt
they're
about it.
liquid calories. It's
Yeah.
easy to just to eat a kilogram of yogurt.
Yeah.
It's liquid calories.
Yeah.
It brings the two proteins, whey and casein, that are what generate growth in infant cattle. And that's all the cattle, the sheep, goat, whatever you're looking at. It's meant to generate growth. And if you want to bulk up or gain weight, maybe that's helpful to you. Or maybe give it to your kids if they look scrawny. But no, I don't think it's necessary at all. I agree with you, Patrick.
Yeah.
And then the same with the milk as well. Like, if you're going to be giving your children milk, then again, you just need to look at where it's coming from. You need to look at the ingredients, because there's the problem right there. Because when you look at the low-fat milk, it has a shitload of ingredients in it, and you can see where the sugars are coming from. So it's just basically watered sugar. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
even
in
real
that sense,
milk.
it's good. They at least emphasize full-fat dairy on the food pyramid instead of low-fat. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to point towards. Okay,
Yeah.
if you are going to add in some dairy, make sure it's full fat and not low fat.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part. At the end of the day, we need to move away from low fat, get away from it as quick as possible, because that's where all the damage is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then what we were saying earlier on about the foods and the proteins, you need to make sure if you're adding these vegetables and these fruits in, they need to be in season, because otherwise they're coming in from different countries all over the world. You cannot tell me an avocado that you get in the summer is the same as an avocado that you get in, say, November time, December time. You just need to taste it. It's rock solid. Rock solid. It's not the same. And then you need to look at, like I always look at my meats in this country. It always says it's EU based. But when you look at the back of it, it doesn't say EU based. It said it's after been imported from Brazil, Mexico, all these countries. So it's not Irish-based foods. So you need to read the label. You need to read the back. People need to understand and start to learn what labeled in is, because this is what nobody's giving you this information. Everybody's just focusing on the front of the label. It says low calorie, it has low fiber, or sorry, high fiber, has low fat. That's all we're looking at the moment.
Yeah.
But nobody's looking at the ingredients, because it doesn't matter. Of course it matters.
Yeah.
I wonder how the food pyramid is going to change marketing of food. It'd be interesting to see if the meats actually still increase in price. That's going to be very, very interesting now, because that's a staple now of people's diet now, is going to be red meat. So it's going to be interesting now to see, does the price increase, or does it remain the same?
It's amazing. Cancer-causing red meat is now a staple on the diet. Very curious to see what's going to happen in the coming years.
It's going to be very, very interesting, guys. It really is. It's going to be... Well, Patrick, we want to be respectful of your time, but we'll leave the final message to you.
Oof. All right. Well, you're surprising me with that one. Oi, Mark.
Take your time. Well, if people were listening to this right now and they were confused about the food pyramids, what would you say to people? Where would you tell them to start?
Well, to make the entry as accessible as possible for the general public, I would say start with this food pyramid. Start here. I think if you start with this, it depends where you come from. If you come from a standard diet and you got your cupboards full of boxes and crap and stuff, then take this food pyramid and just eat only what's on that food pyramid. Then already you're going to improve your health. And I believe that the moment you start improving your health and you start to eat more meat and your brain starts to work better, you will automatically start to look for even more optimization. Because once you start feeling better, you want to feel even better, don't you? You've now tasted what it's like to feel good. So now how can you feel even better than good? And from there, I believe the discovery will happen. So maybe just as an entry level, eat from this food pyramid, stick only what's on there food wise, and let's have a chat in 6 months.
Well said. Well said. Well, Patrick, it's an absolute pleasure having you on, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing on social media.
Me.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
And keep up the
Thank
good
you,
fight.
Victoria.
That's all I can say to you. Where can people go to find you, Patrick?
Find me on Instagram. You can see it here, my handle, functional.healthcoach. Same thing on TikTok and on YouTube. It's slightly different. It's at Functional Health Coaching. I recently started podcasts as well. I would love to have you on one day, Mark, as well. That would be awesome. Even Victoria, the invitation extends to you.
Thank you.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I love the podcast format. I love being a guest on podcast. I'm going to be soon on Sean Baker as well, which is going to be really exciting. And I'm having my own podcast. So yeah, YouTube at the moment I'm very focused on. So check me out.
Good man. Good man. Amazing. So good. So a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
Yes.
Say again, please.
A lot of stuff in the pipeline. You've got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm loving it. I love it. I wake up in the morning and I just cannot wait. It's crazy, but I cannot wait to get to work because I love what I'm doing.
That's great.
Amazing. Well, Patrick, as I said, it's been a pleasure, buddy, and we'll definitely keep in touch. And I wish you all the best for your podcast in the future.
You guys as well. Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye.